And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. Let's get right into business, and it is story time. So I woke up this morning at 4 a.m. Actually 3:59. I made sure that I woke up 1 minute before 4 a.m. in order for me to feel that I'm massively ahead of the rest of the crowd. Okay, so let's continue story time. So I've been using Instagram for an extended period of time, and I'm building a community, and you'll learn more about what I do for a living. But what I decided to do was to expand my horizon a little bit. Instead of just using YouTube and Instagram, I wanted to try LinkedIn. And so the last couple of days, I've been kind of tinkering trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work on it. Because my goal is to follow what Alex Hormozi's core 4 are, which is do 100 outreach per day, cold outreach per day. This is basically talking to strangers and them having no idea who you are, and you just reaching out and say, hi, you don't know me, but... And I'm going to explain in detail what I write to those people, and you'll see how it works, how it doesn't work, and what ended up happening. So yesterday I did fantastic. I've been resisting doing the 100 DMs for a long period of time because 99% of what you do is not working when you're doing cold outreach. They're not seeing the message, they're not responding to it because they're not interested, or whatever other reason might have happened. But 1% makes you rich. And it's not because you did something amazing to that 1%. They're just interested in having a conversation with you, and you got better and better and better at connecting with people eventually. And this is something that takes time, right? Because you've got to develop as a person and actually create more value, have something more to offer to people. And so over time, I've gotten better at this. But, we sometimes stray away from the things that we've learned. And this is kind of what happened today or yesterday when I was DMing people. So I wake up this morning and I'm like, okay, finally, I managed to do 50 DMs yesterday. This is half of my daily goal, and I'm doing it on Instagram and I'm doing it on LinkedIn, and I wake up and I'm like ready to go today and make things happen. And then I'm banned. Like, I'm literally closed out of my account. And they're like, oh, we need to verify that you're a human and that your identity. And I'm like, I gotta use my identity and all that stuff to open my freaking account. And then they're like, within 24 to 48 hours, we will decide if we're going to open again your account. I'm like, what is going on? I literally signed up for their premium version to pay them $70 a month, like yesterday morning. And this is kind of like the welcome package that I received. How is this a blessing in disguise? Okay, tell me that. But I will explain it. And so you guys can kind of give me an idea, or you will get an idea if I show you guys how it looks like from the perspective of the person that I wrote. Okay. So this is my text that I write to people, and yes, I've been copy pasting it. Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. I've been doing this for quite a while in terms of talking to people and connecting with people. And so let's read it together, shall we? It says, I'll be straightforward. I'm a consistency coach that helps guys replace their full-time jobs with an online income faster than a college degree. So obviously I say, hey, and then their first name, and then I start reading this message, right? But I'm straight to the point. I'm just like, why waste time? I'm on LinkedIn. It's a job platform. It is a career platform. Like, let's get right to business, right? But that's not how people work, it seems like. So I'll continue what I write. We do that through our community of entrepreneurs, OnTrack Consistency app that's free on App Store. Make sure you download it. And my coaching. Help the guy go from 0 to 1.6 million subscribers on YouTube. His name's Loista. If this is not of value to you, then I'd love to get to know you and see in what other way I can provide free value. Relationship first. By the way, the stuff above here, I got a totally free trial for it. Either way, open for a quick chat. This is what I've been writing to people, and I've received one dude from India that was interested in it. Found out later that he is, doing his own network marketing thing, and that was probably what he wanted to connect with me on, and that's okay. Anyway, so as you can see, like, it's not working very well, and I'm like starting to like doubt again. I'm like, am I doing the right thing? What's going on? And my subconscious brain has to remind me. Because the DM thing, I've been putting on the back burner for a long time. I've been just enjoying having a community of, 25 to 30 guys that I'm coaching, helping to get financial freedom in their specific respective industries. And some of them I'm helping in the DMs, but now that I'm back in the trenches and actually moving towards doing 100 DMs a day, things are progressing. Like, things are happening from my subconscious brain and coming to light again, and I'll explain. But the second message is, I'll be straightforward. I've got a free trial of my community of entrepreneurs, OnTrack Consistency app, and my business potentially replacing full-time income with an online presence, etc. Yo, let's go, Rishav. Yeah, man, I can notice you. You're awesome, bro. So I'm going live on both YouTube and Instagram and kind of having fun with it. So let's see what happens. So I'm telling a story about LinkedIn and how they banned me. And so what was my thought process when this happened? Well, I started going through their policies. Why are they banning me, bro? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But here it is. I'm like, okay, we want LinkedIn to reflect the best version of professional life. This is a community. Peace, Rishav. Talk to you soon. We want LinkedIn to reflect the best version of professional life. This is a community where we treat each other with respect and help each other succeed. Okay, I'm doing that. All right, cool. Be safe. Only bring safe conversations to LinkedIn. Bro, I'm like the safest person out there. Like, there's no one more safe than me. I don't get it. Be trustworthy. Use your true identity and share information that is real and authentic. Bro, do you know who I am? Like, seriously, like, you can't. Who's out there who's more trustworthy than me? Okay, there's two aspects to trust, right? One is that you're a good person with amazing intentions. And the second one is competency. There's a lot of stuff that you can't trust me in from a competency perspective. Like, as a software developer, I'm not competent. You can't trust me on that one. E-commerce, I'm not competent on e-commerce, so you can't trust me on that one. But when it comes to sales, you'll find out. I am pretty good at it. When it comes to sales, when it comes to content creation, and when it comes to trading, I'm pretty safe. I'm trustworthy when it comes to that, at least in my opinion. Okay, and then be professional. We allow broad conversations about the world of work, but just keep it professional. Is this the one where I'm lacking? Okay, so let's check out my rookie mistakes and go all the way down, because I read all of this. Okay, I'm like, bro, I'm doing everything correctly. I'm not doing anything shady or bad or anything. Even on the professional part, until I got all the way down to the bottom. And here it is. Do not spam members or the platform. We don't allow untargeted, irrelevant, obviously unwanted, unauthorized, inappropriately commercial or promotional, or gratuitously, I don't even know how to say that one, repetitive messages or similar content. And then I was thinking, bro, do you understand what I'm promoting here? Look at this. I help people to replace their full-time jobs with an online income. Okay, you got a full-time job. You're probably going to be there for 40 years, or jump between jobs for 40 years, or you can exit with my help within a time span that's faster than a college degree and get an online income using those 5 strategies that I just outlined. The two things where you can't really trust my competence on when it comes to software development and e-commerce, we've got other people inside of the community that you can trust when it comes to that, which means that our community is amazing and obviously should be wanted by the average person that I'm texting. And I know who my target avatar is, and they're basically guys who are in full-time jobs, LinkedIn dudes, and who, like, anyone wants an online income, right? Well, let's talk about this. And like even helping people to go from 0 to 1.6 million subscribers on YouTube, like you'd think that people would want that. And then I was thinking a bit more about it, and then I realized, gosh dang, they actually don't want this, and they don't want to be spammed. And why is that? So, although LinkedIn ruined my day, and I hope that they'll open my account again, this was a blessing in disguise because I needed to get this reminder into my brain. And the brain reminder and the blessing was that I finally understood again that people are people. Now, when you are doing this type of business of 100 outreach a day, it is very easy to forget that these people have lives, these people have families, they have hopes and dreams, they've got stuff that they're trying to do, they're stressed outside of their minds because of inflation and things are becoming more expensive and they're trying to push their goals and they're afraid of getting fired. And like there's all these things happening in their lives. And then I come with this message that sounds like a pyramid scheme crap, which is not. And they're like, bro, okay, I get this message, yeah, whatever, okay? And then they put it outside their minds immediately because it sounds too good to be true. That's one thing. And number two, I'm not showing any form of interest in them at all. I'm like yapping about myself. Now, if they were interested in what I have to offer, then they need to know what I have to offer. You get what I'm saying? But if I'm only thinking about myself and what I have to offer immediately at the get-go, I'm not connecting. And the point is that you want to connect, right? You're either an opportunity or a distraction for people. Like think about that one more time. Now, the O in OnTrack stands for opportunity. N is for networking, and then we've got the rest of it. But I was forgetting that I need to be an opportunity for people, not a distraction. And if they don't know who I am and they don't know what I have to offer and they don't know who I am, like they won't take the next step with me. If they don't take the next step with me and they never see me again, then I was a distraction. And if you're doing the 100 reach outs, strategy of Alex Hormozy, which needs to be done, by the way, because you're going to run out of warm contacts. You're going to probably not want to do paid ads in the beginning of what you're building. And so you've got cold and you've got content creation. Those are the only two things that you can do to build a following and build a community and build your brand. And you got to do it. And I've been doing that in the past, and then I took a long break while, kind of helping my clients to get results and building the community. But now it's time for me to continue to expand it. Like we were 30 clients at the end of last year, and then the end of 2023. Oh my gosh. And then we're 30 clients right now. Like that's a sustainable business. That means that they're getting value from it. And 40% of the people are referrals. Okay, so this is a great thing that I've got going on, but people won't understand that, and you gotta warm them up, right? You can't just believe that they're going to be an opportunity. You can't pretend like they believe you are an opportunity immediately from the get-go. Okay, so what do you do instead? There's two things. First, you gotta meet them where they're at. And what does that mean? It's not just, oh, they're on LinkedIn, so I need to meet them there. Okay, that's one part of it, right? The second part is that you need to understand where they're at in their lives. What are they actually looking for right now? because timing is alpha and omega in business. So if they're considering right now to, man, I want to quit my job, or I don't like what I do for a living, or I've like within 2 years, I want to have my own business that's functioning, that's giving me passive income, and then I'm going to quit my job continuously. But I'm struggling to figure out, what is that going to be? What am I going to build? And so as a result, you're looking for an opportunity. Now, if I sent that message to you, you'd be like, man, this is perfect. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Yo, Nick, what's up? I'm doing a video on 100 reach outs a day. So we're talking about that. And so you got to meet people where they're at, understand what they're going through, what they're looking for. And the vast majority of people are not thinking about building their own business. They're not thinking about gaining financial freedom from a random stranger that's contacting them online, right? So, but they're thinking about it. They're probably having some, ideas in the back of their minds that they should have taken action on 2 years ago or 5 years ago, but they still haven't, and they're in jobs still. But they've heard the same message from so many different people of, yeah, get financial freedom online. And as a result, you can't pitch that immediately. You have to meet them where they're at. And where are they at? They just want opportunity. They just want a friend. They just want support. They just want someone to listen to them. They just want maybe a little bit of advice here and there. That's free, by the way, and from someone who's an expert, right? And so if you are an expert, this is what you got to do in the beginning with people, and treat them like people, and make sure that you over time are producing lots and lots and lots of value in their lives, and keep giving and giving and giving. And as a result, eventually they're going to be on board. They're going to be like, bro, this guy can actually take me places, and I'm so happy he came into my life. And so as a result, now there's a relationship. That's the stuff that I haven't been doing on LinkedIn the past couple of days, and that's why I got banned, right? So if they reinstate my account, which I hope that they do, and if they don't, that's okay. There's multiple social media platforms out there. But once they do start, reinstating me, I'm going to have a completely different process. I'm going to start connecting with people like heart to heart, mind to mind, and understanding where they're at. Now, does that mean that everyone's going to want to connect with me? Absolutely not. But can I 10x the potential of what I was trying to do yesterday by doing it differently now, by connecting with people? Yes. And that's the goal. And the point of this is to not seek to take value from people immediately, because that's like when you're looking for customers, when you're looking for clients, that's what people are doing. Like, I need to make money right now. Like, if you're in that space, there's a problem. You haven't worked for free long enough to create enough branding where people trust you and go inside your shop to find out, I wonder if there's something on these shelves that I might be interested in. So if you don't have that brand, you don't have permission from them to ask them what they want. Like, how do people feel when they go inside a clothing store, or any other store for that matter, and the person that works there goes like, can I help you with anything? Then like the first thing that we think is like, okay, stay away from me. Like, I don't need your help. I'm looking, right? Because you never want to be put in a situation where you're kind of feeling bad that you didn't buy anything, or that type of situation, and you don't even know if they have what you want. And so like, what's the point of communicating with the person and then you having them waste your time because you're like, they don't understand that you have something else in mind, right? So in the same way, that's how you connect with people over time, over an extended period of time. Like, you're building a business for the next decade. No matter what type of business you're building, think in decade, like in decades for that matter, not just tomorrow or next month, or I need to make money right now. Because if you do, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because people aren't that quick to understand what you are, who you are, if you're trustworthy, and what you do. And very often that's because of a lack of proper branding and messaging from your side, right? So there you can't create connection with that person because you don't know what you're doing, and that's okay when you're starting out. But me, as kind of like an expert, I should have remembered this and done that before I got banned from LinkedIn. You know, so that just I love the fact that they ruined my day, but that blessing came back to me in return of understanding. Oh yeah, of course. I got to make sure that I always provide lots and lots and lots of value up front. And so how would that look like instead? Well, speak their language is the second part of this. What is their language? Well, if I yank them with like, yo, I've got a business model and you need to do this and you like great free trial and everything, they're like, there's no value here from this person because I don't know him, right? So what is their language? Well, like if you are publicly in a public space and you're talking to people, let's say you visit someone's home or you go to an event or a party or a networking session or whatever it is, or at a restaurant, and you meet someone and you guys are starting up a conversation of some sort because of something that happened, or you notice something about them. Like, this is networking 101, right? You notice something about someone and that you might be able to relate on, and so you say something and then they reply, because that's what you do, is a cordial thing. It's respectful to not just ignore someone in public, right? And so instead, what happens? Well, once you're trying to connect, if it's not just like a pass by, you will never see each other again type situation, and you want to take this relationship further, as a networker, I'm a network builder, I'm a network builder, I'm a network builder. That's how you produce opportunity for yourself, right? The way to go about it is extend your hand and say, hi, my name is Joseph. What's your name? Like, that would be a normal interaction where you're meeting them where they're at and you're speaking their language, because it's a normal question to ask. And it's very non-threatening, and people love their name, and so they're going to tell you their name. And once they tell you their name, there's a conversation that has started. And as a result of the conversation starting, now what happens next? You begin to ask questions of like, so what do you do? And then you need to have a response for that. A very clean, cut, clear response that says, I do this, I do that. Like in my case, I'd be like, I help guys to quit their full-time jobs within, faster than a college degree by getting an online income. Yo, interesting. How do you do that? That becomes the next question. Now, I'm not saying that that's how you should do it in the DMs. You should connect on something else. Anything. Like, look at their posts, or look at their videos, or look at their name, their bio, or whatever they're producing of content, and try to figure out, what can I connect with them on? What do I like? What can I compliment them on? There's 3 different things: acknowledge, compliment, and ask a question. And that's AKA. And that works really well. So if you can do that and then ask another question, like if they ask, what do you do? And then you say what you do, and you don't expect them to be like, wow, that's amazing, and I want to know everything about it. Instead, you just go about saying, what do you do? Right? Because now you're still meeting them where they're at. Like they like their name, and they also like to talk about themselves, and they also are enjoying that someone is interested in them. Like, it makes them feel important. And this is the thing that I just forgot to do, and that's why LinkedIn banned me. And now I'm going back with a different strategy, and I'm really excited about it. Okay, so now you understand this. Everyone wants a friend, and that's how you communicate with people. Now, if they are your friends, the worst type of friend is the one that takes. Meaning someone who is continuously asking you for stuff. Oh, can you do this for me? Can you meet me there? Can you lend me money? Can you okay, that's a horrible friend, right? If he is not in tune with what you're interested in and asking you, like, do you want to do this? Is this something that, like, do I have your permission to ask you about this, right? The closer friends you are, the more you can ask them for stuff, right? But the less of friends you are, you're now stealing from them. You're stealing their time. You're stealing their attention. You're a distraction. They're trying to achieve things, and here you are talking about your stuff, right? Like I did. Instead, what you do is you take change out of your pocket. And what type of change am I talking about? Like, like pocket change, like, like dollars, cents, nickels, that type of stuff. And this is just an example of that. And so you take some change out of your pocket, and what this looks like is I'm giving. Okay, so in order for you to give them something of value, you need to know what is valuable to them. If they're your best friend, then you'll know that this person, for example, he's looking for a girlfriend, okay? Or he's looking for a job, or he's looking to get help with the resume, or he's looking for this, or he's looking for that. So if you have change, meaning an expertise in one of those things, with some form of advice that is valuable, it has to be valuable, then you can take that change and give it to him, right? So now he's receiving something, and he's happy that he received this value, and now he trusts you more. So just like I explained in the beginning of the video, it's like, first, in order to be trusted, you need to have good intentions and be a good person with integrity. And then the second part of it is that you need to be competent. You need to actually have advice that's worthwhile. So some form of an expert opinion, or someone who can direct that person to an expert opinion. This is networking, right? So if you're a good friend, you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to give, and to give for free with no expectation of anything in return. And this is extremely difficult when you're poor, when you're broke, and when you're struggling. You want to make money at that time. And so you're now really looking for friends. But that is the opposite way of doing business. You want to, in the beginning of your career, when you're not succeeding, when you are broke, you have to learn to be okay with being broke. Or you need to learn to put in a massive work ethic by having local jobs where you're doing no-brainer things like stocking shelves or doing a cash register or picking up water or whatever it is that you got to do, okay, or coffee for your boss, right? You do the small, itty-bitty, easy stuff and get paid a salary so that in your business, you don't need a salary. You don't need someone to pay you right now, today. Because business is built over time, and it's built on relationships, and it's built on people trusting that you've got competence and you've got integrity. And that's how you build a business. And that's what I'm excited to do once I get started again on LinkedIn. Okay, so there will come a time, though, when you don't have capacity anymore because you are helping too many people. Like, that's a luxury situation where you are literally serving every single day hundreds of friends. That is business. You're serving them so well that they're like, bro, like, I need to pay you for this. Like, I don't even know how to thank you enough, And that's when you're like, okay, no problem, bro. Like, I love working for you. I love serving you. I love taking care of the people that are close to me. And then at some point he's like, but I got this thing. Like, can I ask you to work on this thing for me? And that's when you simply don't have time. Like, because you're helping so many people. But if they're willing to pay you, that's when you're like, hey, I've helped a lot, and I appreciate you as a friend. But is there a possibility for us to create a win-win situation here? Because like, I have so many things that I need to get done and I got to prioritize, but I'd love to prioritize you. Can we have a win-win situation and for us to get paid? And that's when they will want to pay you. And in fact, they'll probably ask to pay you in advance. I have a quick story on this, which was one of my friends that I had developed over a year's time. We had just been discussing because we were part of the same program online. That was a scam, by the way, or at least I felt like it. where we paid more than the value that we received in return. Okay, that's what the definition of a scam is. So it is possible for Google to be a scam and Facebook to be a scam. Like if they're not providing value more than what you're paying them, then it's a scam. Okay, and yeah, that's a harsh thing. Like in the future, you know, like everyone's going to call everyone a scammer if that's the definition that everyone uses. But to a degree, that is the truth, okay? Because they can't trust you. If they can't trust you, you're a scam. You might have good intentions and integrity, but if you're not pulling through with your competency and what they paid for and set the right expectations up front, then it's a scam, right? So anyway, I'm going back to the story of my friend who had worked with me now, and not worked with me, but we'd been talking back and forth a lot of times, and I knew what his expertise was as a result now. And so I would ask him for help when I needed tech help, right? Like to open my, different softwares, or to understand how to do an account here, or like different things online. And he always wanted to jump on a call and figure it out with me. And that's when I was like, bro, this is insane. 1, 2, 3, 4 times or something that he did this for me for free. I'm just going to jump on a call and help you out. It takes him 10 minutes, 20 minutes, not a big deal out of his day. And he did it willingly. You know what happened? I was like, bro, like, can I pay you? And he's like, sure, you can pay me. And then we found a win-win situation that he was happy with, that I was happy with. And guess what? We're still friends to this day. What do you know? And at any point in time, I can go to him, he can come to me, and we can make things happen and create something from it. So the moral of the story here is that you want to give as much as possible instead of asking for stuff. You want to give, give, give. And the more you give, the more you're going to eventually receive. And the way that the universe works is that you always receive multiplied what you give out. And the reason why you do that is because you can help a lot of people every day. Now, someone who is busy taking from a lot of people, and if it's not money, you're literally taking their attention and their time when you're asking for something that they don't want to really give you because they don't know you. Like, why should they give up their energy to you if there's no reason to? The only people that do that is people who actually are genuinely trying to build their business. But if you're distracting them and you're not going to be a win-win situation for them, then it's a distraction. And all distractions are equal, meaning they're horrible in terms of you focusing on getting the job done in your business. Okay, so remember that next time you're distracting people and stealing their time, whether you're an entertainer, right? If you make YouTube videos, like, is your content valuable? If not, you wasted everyone's time. Is your content clickbait? In a bad way, then you wasted a lot of people's time. Now, it shouldn't stop you from posting content because it's going to be bad in the beginning, but you just can't expect that people are going to massively watch your videos if you're not producing any value whatsoever. Okay, so I hope that makes tons of sense. And let me know if you like this live stream type situation, and if you guys want more of this, I'd love to do it again sometime. So thank you so much for watching. Thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.